How we doing, Georgia? Yeah! Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming to this prayer vigil. It's a little bit different than what we normally do. Normally we have these crazy, outrageous rallies that the crowd is fired up, and you guys are all fired up. But today is Sunday. So today we pray. Today we reflect. Today we ask for God's guidance. And tomorrow we go back to war! This is a fight for this country. This is a fight for our God-given liberties. This is a fight for our Constitution. This is a fight for everything we know and love, and they are trying to take it from us. Will we let that happen? No! We have one chance in this election. If they steal this election from the American people, if they steal our freedoms, if they steal our Constitution, we will never have a fair and honest election again. That's why this is so important. This is the fate of a nation in 2020. The fate of a nation. Are we going to fight for this country? Yeah! Woo! That's what we need. I want to introduce Ali Alexander. He's the founder of Stop the Steal. He is an instrumental strategist for putting on these rallies. We put 4,000 people in the Capitol 2 weeks ago. We put 150,000 people in Washington, D.C. 2 weeks ago. More than that. We will always keep the energy. We will not go silently. We will fight for this country, and we will make our voices heard. Can I get an amen? Amen! Without further ado, Ali Alexander.
Okay, Michael, it was 250,000.
250.
I don't know why you tell yourself short. I'd like to thank Flag. A huge round of applause for Flag. What I love about what we've all created, this is our movement, is that everyone's just putting aside their logos. Everybody's just putting aside their ego. We're working together. We're finding the funds for flights and hotels, and there's no ego. So when Mike tells me, he says, you know, there's some Asian people that want to come pray in Georgia. I was like, what? I was like, repeat that again. A Stop the Steal prayer ritual for the Asians. I was like, all right, let's do it. My only two godchildren are Vietnamese, and my best friend's Vietnamese, and so I'm really glad you guys are here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm not a speaker, I'm an organizer. I'm the warm-up act for these guys like Brandon Straka, Scott Presler, and some others. And what I want to tell you guys is that this for me has been spiritually renewing. Right after high school, I went to Bible college for a year. My mom's a moderate in her faith. Howdy. Thank you. Love it. Our seniors. So I went to Bible college straight out of high school. A very, very conservative Bible college in Dallas called Criswell College. And my mom hated that. So then I went to the University of North Texas to study political science, which is a waste of a degree. Do not get a political science degree. Unless maybe you go to law school or something like that. And I was sitting there in my Texas political science course, and my professor said he had never worked in government. He had never worked on a campaign. So I never wanted to step foot in his class. I went to the computer lab, and now because of me, University of North Texas has a limit on what you can print. And I spent the semester just printing and printing and printing, and then went to work in politics. I wanted to prove to myself that I couldn't make it, that the system was right. You needed a degree. And so what's amazing, I've spent 14 years in politics. I've dined with Kanye West, met with Jack Dorsey, the president knows me. We've known each other since 2014. And what I've learned is that the system is a lie. It's all a lie. The ballot counting's a lie. The news media is a lie. Public education is a lie. College is a lie. We got to burn it down. And what we're doing, I think, is very prudent. I think Stop the Steal is very prudent. We're escalating alongside with our oligarchs. It's tough, right, in America to admit we beat the Soviet Union, but we have oligarchs, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
We got CNN and all of its oligarchs. We got Johnson & Johnson and all of its oligarchs. Moderna and all of its oligarchs. They're trying to shove a vaccine on us for something that 99% of people survive.
You don't need it. You don't need it.
And it's all inside of this great reset. It turns out Alex Jones and the conspiracy theorists were a little bit right, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
They seek to control us. And what I love about this event is that if you talk to immigrants in Africa, if you talk to immigrants from South America, if you talk to people from Eastern Europe, they'll tell you this one phrase. When we started Stop the Steal, I kept hearing this one phrase. I've seen this before. How many people have heard that? I've seen this before. And so we Americans, we born Americans, aren't used to this gaslighting. They're literally willing to lie. They're literally willing to censor us. And they don't care that 5 million or 10 million Americans know, which is why we had to take to the streets to stop the steal, didn't we?
Right. To the streets.
And so one guy couldn't do this. I just had a tweet and an idea. We had Scott Presler, Brandon Straka, his whole walkaway team, Michael Coudrey, Courtney Holland, Megan Barth, Jenny Beth Martin here with Tea Party Patriots in Georgia, who's doing a great job with the Trump legal team. We had CJ Pearson. We had Ed Martin in D.C. I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple of people. We had Congressman Gosar. Vernon Jones. Which, by the way, he's going to run for Secretary of State. And then we got our friend Mark Fetcham. How many people watched the Arizona hearing? What was it, a Saturday ago? So he's going to run for Secretary of State in Arizona. Let's just keep that between us. So I got to tell you, like Barack Obama, I want to fundamentally change America. I want to fundamentally change America back to its promise in its founding document. And we're going to need all of your helps. We're going to need this broad coalition to stay together. They want to divide us. They want infighting. They want us to develop this long platform of promises. We're not doing any of that. We're going to stay in the streets. We're going to keep meeting. We're going to organize. We're going to take over the Republican Party.
Yes!
People like Scott Presler are going to run in 2022. And we are going to be their foot soldiers. We are going to be their door knockers, their small donors, their phone bankers. So this fight over the next 2 years is going to be long and it's going to be hard. And I got to tell you, these Republicans who don't want to talk about saving the presidential race, they're really pissing me off.
Kick them out. Kick them out.
I think the runoff election is important. I do think that these two corporate hacks are the only firewall between us and socialism. But I got to tell you, the Republicans need to be on notice. This is the last compromise we make, right? The last compromise we make.
Whose party? Our party.
It's our party. It's our streets. And huge shout out to the police. We don't have a permit here, but we back the blue, right?
Yeah!
As long as they back our rights. And they've been really, really kind to us and really, really good to us. So anyway, I just wanted to get up here. I am so tired. But we're marching on D.C. December 12th. Who's coming out to that?
Yeah!
I need you guys to write down this location. It's the National Mall. It's going to be beautiful, iconic, but we've got the National Mall, December 12th. We've partnered with a group. How many people have heard of the Jericho March? Okay, so if you've been to a Stop the Steal rally, if you've watched people, these Catholics with patron saints or giant crucifixes, it's not just a Catholic organization, but 60 or 70% of the Jericho marchers are Catholic. And what they will do is they will march the perimeter. Who knows the story from the Bible?
Yes.
Okay, they walked around the city 7 times and then blew the shofar. Where is it? Shofar? And then the walls came tumbling down, right? Because God wants us to act in faith. He wants us to act, and He'll take care of the final deed, won't He? So we don't need to be violent.
No.
We don't need to be mean. We don't need to take care of Joe Biden. The other side will do that if we demonstrate that we won't buy their plastic, we won't eat their sugar, and we won't watch their TVs. So please, 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 don't let the winter destroy this movement. Do not let division and tweets and rumors destroy this movement. Stop the steal!
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 I'll see y'all in D.C. on December 12th.
Ali Alexander, everybody. I want to introduce someone very, very special to this movement. Someone that is known for his activism, someone that is known for his dedication, someone who will travel across the country to register voters. He makes a direct impact, and he's quite influential in doing so. Guys, give a round of applause for Scott Presler. Hello, Georgia.
My name is Scott Presler.
Woo!
I never thought this would be my life. And that's how I know God is at work.
Oh, amen.
And I ask him, use me as your tool. President Trump inspired me a year ago because he talked about Baltimore and the state of the city. And I saw everybody was quick to point the finger and to blame and to scapegoat, but nobody took action. Nobody wanted to do anything. And I said, I will.
Wow.
And so many of you, actually, I was like, uh-oh, because so many of you wanted to help. And then I was like, okay, I have to put on this national cleanup. And I studied criminal justice. I did not study waste management and sanitation. But within 6 days, we organized a cleanup and we picked up 12 tons of trash in 12 hours in one day. One day, it was a miracle. And I thought to myself, why can't I do this everywhere? Why can't I go across the country and do this in every major city? And we've been to Atlanta, Austin, Baltimore, Chicago, Denver, Duquesne, Detroit, Houston, Kenosha, Los Angeles, Miami, Milwaukee, Portland, Pittsburgh, Philly. In alphabetical order. And I was even protested for picking up trash in San Francisco, California.
So ridiculous.
But the reason why I share this story with you is I'm an average, ordinary guy. But because this is a prayer vigil, I relate to Isaiah 6:8. And the Lord said, who shall I send? And I said, here I am, Lord, send me. And so my message to you in this time is when so many people will look to others and say, who will? I hope to encourage you to say, I will!
Thank you, Scott.
Will you continue to call your state senators? Say, I will. Will you continue to call your House of Representatives? Will you continue to knock on doors in preparation for the January 5th election? Will you vote?
I will.
Thank you for showing up. Thank you for standing up. Thank you for raising your voices, guys. I love you. I love you. I'm a Virginian. I have no ties to Georgia. I have no family in Georgia, but I know what's at stake. I know that freedom is on the line, and I know that losing these 2 Senate seats would not only be a loss of 2, it would be a loss of 6. The Democrats are going to give statehood to DC. The Democrats are going to give statehood to Puerto Rico, giving an additional 4 seats to Chuck Schumer. This isn't just about 2, this is about 6. And I want you to understand, this is a decisive moment in history. This is our 1776. And we fight not with bullets, but with ballots. I love you guys. I'm done.
Wow, Scott is incredible. The activism that he does throughout the country is truly, truly commendable. Thank you so much, Scott. I want to introduce someone very special as well. He leads the Walk Away movement. Have you guys heard of that before?
Without.
Maybe the battery? Where's the battery?
Where's our sound guy?
Battery.
Two taps and a spin, right? 2 taps and a spin. Yeah. Pop it.
How about the bullhorn?
Yours, you?
Use the bullhorn. What? What happened?
All right. Without further ado, Brandon Straka with Walk Away. Thank you.
Hey, Brandon.
Did Scott Presler do that to the microphone? He's always trying to sabotage me. He's so jealous. How's everybody doing?
I'm just kidding. I love Scott Presler. We're actually really good friends. He's an amazing guy, an amazing asset to our movement. So Scott, thank you everybody. Thank you Michael, thank you Ali, the whole Stop the Steal crew. You guys, I have so much I want to say today. Lots on my mind. I'm going to, and I'm going to say it in no particular order. I'm just going to go off the cuff today. The first thing that's on my mind, do I sound crazy like a robot? Is it kind of a little bit? A little this way? Okay, that's the sweet spot. Much better. All right, good. The first thing I want to say is that I'm deeply disturbed by some messages from some people that are going out who shall remain nameless because it doesn't matter, but people who are encouraging other people not to vote on January 5th. This is not the moment for us to stand on ceremony and say that, okay, what are you, over here guys, over here, everybody over here. This is not the time for us to stand on ceremony and decide that we're going to do a protest, that we're not going to go vote. I mean, if you don't go vote on January 5th for the Senate runoffs, you're guaranteed that your vote is not going to count. That's a guarantee. And I'm getting a little pissed off when I see people in my social media, because I came to Georgia and I tend to be here for the until January 5th, going on knocking on doors. I'm putting together a phone banking group of volunteers, doing everything we can possibly do. And I'm talking about it on my social media, on Twitter and Facebook, and I hear all these comments underneath. What's the point? Our votes don't count anyway. What's the point? None of this matters. None of this matters. Well, it definitely doesn't matter if you go vote. If you don't go vote, 100% your vote is not going to count. But it doesn't matter, because we have to fight as hard as we possibly can for these 2 seats in the Senate. This is not the time to give up. It's not the time to be big babies and to quit. We just have to dig in our heels and fight harder. And then we have to hope that we can reform this so that the next time we have more faith in our election system, that we have that trust back again. But we can't just quit because we're upset right now. So that's the first thing I want to talk about today. Everybody must go vote on January 5th. Unless you're going to vote Democrat, then you should not go vote on January 5th. Everybody got it? Are you with me on this? Because I'm in no mood for this. I'm working too hard right now to also deal with babies. No babies. I can't have the baby. Why should I go vote? I don't care. Just do it. Go vote on January 5th. The other thing I want to talk about today is I want to talk to my Asian friends and family, because there's so many of you here today. So first of all, it warms my heart anytime I see what I would call a non-traditional Trump supporter or a non-traditional Republican. Because as we know, the Democrats have done an incredible job of marketing themselves towards minority communities in this country. And they have hoodwinked, brainwashed, and convinced the vast majority of non-Caucasians and LGBT people and other minority groups that they are only welcome and only supported under the Democrat ticket, which is a blatant lie, isn't it? Say it's a lie! It's a lie! It's a lie, ladies and gentlemen. So when I see smart, free-thinking individuals from minority communities coming out to stand up for our president and stand up for the Republican Party, it warms my heart. And then that brings me to wanting to talk about the steal. The steal, lady. I expected you to react when I said that.
Stop the steal! Stop
Thank
the
you.
steal! Stop the steal!
Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal!
.us.
I know Sunday is a day of rest, but I'm going to need you people to get it together. So, Joe Biden is the Democrats would like to convince us that Joe Biden won this election and that Joe Biden won 80 million votes. More than 80 million votes. It's absurd. It's absurd.
Dead votes.
And speaking of minority communities, the only community that Biden grew with was white men. Every minority community walked away to certain numbers, and some of them were huge. Some of them were huge. But let's talk about the Asian community today. The Asian community moved 5 points minimum over to Trump in this election from 2016. That's amazing. I mean, that's amazing. And this happened in the black community. This happened in the Hispanic community. It happened in the LGBT community. Trump doubled the LGBT vote from 2016. Now, this is somebody who has gotten 95% plus negative coverage for 4 years. Been told repeatedly over and over and over again he's the biggest racist, he's the biggest monster, the biggest bigot ever to run for president. And still, massive amounts of Asian people walked away in this election and came over to Trump. Does it piss you off to know that the Democrats have stolen their vote and their voices? Does that make you angry? That makes me so angry. Asian Americans are amazing people. When you look statistically, demographically, you commit the least amount of crime. But the Democrats want to defund the police. Do you think that that's a good idea? No, it's not a good idea.
Back the blue!
Back the blue!
Asian Americans.
Back the blue! Back the blue!
Back the blue. Asian Americans, at a higher rate than any other group, graduate from high school, graduate from college, have fabulous careers. The Democrats want to socialize everything. They want to penalize people for being successful in this country. They want to take away your money and give it to everyone else so everyone else can go to college for free. The Democrats want to take away meritocracy in this country. And they want to enable the lowest common denominator. They want to enable laziness. They want to enable lack of achievement. And so I want to come here to say how much it makes me angry that we worked so hard these last few years to wake people up and get people to walk away from the left. And now the Democrats are trying to steal those votes. And they're trying to steal those voices. And they're trying to steal all of the achievements that we have worked so hard for in this election. Are we going to let them do it?
No!
Hell 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 no!
Stop the steal!
Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal!
Because this is for all of us. We are all a family, regardless of skin color, gender, sexual orientation. These things don't matter. Make America great again means make America great for everybody. That's what we're all about.
Tell it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to stay here in Georgia until January 5th. I'm going to be knocking on doors. I'm going to be putting together phone banking, and I know Scott Presler is too, probably a lot of other people. If you would like to get involved with what I'm doing, get out there, knock on doors. Let's save the Senate! If you want to get involved, just go to my social media, either my Facebook, my Twitter, whatever. I have a sign-up link, a volunteer sign-up link. Click it. We will get in touch with you. We will get you the training that you need, and you can come out and join our group as we knock on doors, as we phone bank. Go to Brandon Straka on Twitter or Facebook. Sign up the sheet. I will email you. You'll get a really easy training. You'll be a part of what we're doing to help save the Senate and stop the steal. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.